My roommate kept eating my meal prep every week, and when I put a lock on the fridge, he told our landlord I was creating tension. I spent 3 hours every Sunday preparing my meals for the week. Grilled chicken, rice, roasted vegetables, all portioned out in containers. It's part of my routine, part of my budget, part of my fitness goals. I'd been doing it for 2 years before my roommate moved in. My name is Austin, I'm 28, and I thought I was being reasonable. My roommate was Kevin, 26, and he seemed nice when he moved in. We split rent on a 2-bedroom apartment, agreed to clean on rotating schedules, got along well enough. The first week I noticed one of my meal prep containers was missing. I figured I'd miscounted or eaten it and forgotten. By week 3 I realized what was happening. Kevin was eating my food. I approached him nicely. I said, "Hey, I've noticed some of my meal prep is disappearing. Can we talk about it?" He laughed it off. "Oh man, I'm sorry. I was just hungry one night and grabbed something. I'll replace it." He didn't replace it. Week 4, 2 more containers were gone. Week 5, 3. I started keeping mental track. By week 6, I was losing 30-40% of my weekly meal prep. I wasn't angry at first. I was confused. How was this happening repeatedly if he'd apologized? I tried again. I said, "Kevin, this is becoming a pattern. The meal prep is expensive and I budget for it. I need you to respect my food." He got defensive. "It's not that serious, bro. It's just food. Why are you being so rigid about it?" "Because it's my money and my time. We're roommates. We should share." "I'm fine with sharing, but sharing means asking, not just taking." He didn't improve. If anything, it got worse. I started labeling my containers with my name. He still took them. I tried putting them in the back of the fridge. He still found them. So I bought a small locking cooler and kept it in my room. I also installed a simple lock on the fridge's freezer compartment where I kept my proteins. Kevin lost it. He came to me angry, saying I was being petty and creating an uncomfortable living situation. I tried to explain that I'd asked nicely multiple times. He said I was being hostile and dramatic. Then he went to our landlord. I got a call from Raymond, our landlord, saying Kevin had complained that I was creating tension in the apartment and that the lock on the fridge was aggressive. Raymond said Kevin felt unwelcome and attacked. I explained the situation to Raymond. I told him I'd asked Kevin to stop multiple times and the lock was my last resort. Raymond, to his credit, was understanding. He said, "Look, this is between you two roommates. I can't get involved in who eats what, but maybe you two need to have an actual conversation." After I got off the phone, I sat with this for a while, and I realized something. Kevin wasn't the villain. He was someone who'd never had to respect boundaries because no one had required him to. He'd grown up in a family where sharing meant take what you need, and he genuinely didn't understand why I was upset. That night, I knocked on his door and asked if we could talk, really talk. "Look," I said, "I don't think you're a bad person, but I think we have really different ideas about what roommate respect looks like. For me, it's asking before taking. For you, it seems like sharing is just happening. Where did that come from?" Kevin was quiet for a long time. Then he told me about his family, about growing up with 5 siblings and no food security, about learning that if you didn't eat it, someone else would, about never having had his food because there was never enough. I felt something shift in me. "Okay," I said, "that makes sense, but I can't just absorb that. Here's what I'm thinking. What if we set aside a specific budget each week for shared meals, and you can eat from that without asking, but my meal prep stays mine?" Kevin's face changed. "You'd do that?" "Yeah, man, I would, but you have to respect the boundary." We worked it out. Every Sunday after I do my meal prep, we spend $30 to $40 of shared money on groceries for a communal shelf. Kevin started contributing to that fund. The lock came off the fridge. 6 months later, Kevin and I are actually friends. We cook together sometimes. He's learned that boundaries aren't walls. They're actually what make relationships work. And I learned that sometimes the person who angers you the most is the one who can teach you the most about yourself. Sometimes understanding changes everything.